Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot, or as I always say, welcome to Lone Pine Tarot for the very first time if you're brand new here. But for those of you who are familiar with my channel, of course, as you can tell, our desk looks a little bit different today, and that is because today's reading is day 4 of what I call our Mystic Midsummer Marathon of 2025. So, continuing with the theme of both summer and light, our topic for today is all about your summer destiny, or what's written for you in the stars this summer. So we're going to try to ask Spirit to predict a little bit about how your summer is going to go from here. We're going to both see kind of like an overall forecast, as well as we'll try to gain some insight on more specific events. So we'll see what pops up, what comes through. Without further ado, let us choose our pile leaders to pick our messages with. So calling on Spirit, please guide us to the right cards for each pile today to choose their messages with. Thank you. Okay, there's pile number 1. There's pile number 2. And pile number 3. Oh, I already flipped it over. I didn't mean to flip it over, but okay, spoiler alert. Pile 3, you already know what your pile is. We'll talk about it in a second. Very beautiful purple card. All right, other than that little faux pas, pile number 1, your leader today is, oh, more purple. I guess purple is the color of the day. Number 31, Ally in Disguise. Okay. For pile number 2, let's see if it is also purple here in the middle. Well, we do have some purple. Become the Elixir, number 50. And of course, pile number 3, well, you already kind of saw your card because I flipped it out at the beginning, but I'll read it off. It says Knights of the Round Table, number 18. Okay, let's make everything nice and neat. So quick refresher, pile 1, Ally in Disguise. Pile 2, Become the Elixir. And pile 3 is Knights of the Round Table. But as I always say, you are perfectly welcome to pause on this part of the video if you need more time to decide what pile you would like read for you. If you're new to Pick a Card readings and you want a little bit of my suggestion on how to pick one, I'd like to guide us all through what I call a meditative moment. So please close your eyes and take in a deep, cleansing breath. Imagine drawing light into your lungs as you do so, then hold it for just a few moments. And then when you breathe back out again and open your eyes, where are they drawn most first? I always kind of suggest looking for a feeling in your gut, in your intuition that, okay, this pile looks right for me. That's where you'll feel it down in. We call it solar plexus, but yes, kind of your stomach, your gut, your heart. And yeah, that is the method. So when you are ready, whatever your method, however you decided, you can drop down to the description box below or the top pinned comment beneath the video. Find the timestamp for your pile, and I'll see you in our chat about your summer destiny, what's written for you in the stars this season. Toodaloo. Hello there, pile number 1. Welcome today to your Pick a Card reading about what's written in your summer destiny for this season. And of course, as you can recall, you were drawn to the card of Ally in Disguise for your pile leader. And I'll read the subtext now that we're within your reading. It says, discover the hard-to-find blessing. So right off the bat, pile 1, of course, we're going to draw more cards as we always do. But when I look at this pile leader of yours intuitively, what I hear is that there's an overarching theme the rest of the summer for you regarding things not being what they seem on one hand, but then on the other hand, kind of a sub-theme of finding help or finding blessings where you don't expect them. Of course, we can kind of, you think of the word ally in disguise. It's something that aids you in a way that you don't expect. So keep that in mind as we go through your cards today. But that does seem to be kind of like the overarching feel of your summer ahead. So that's actually a really good sign though, right, pile 1? Because that means there's, like I said, it could be help, it could be blessings, it could be areas of luck that you're not expecting. Maybe you've been kind of down on your luck recently, or like things just don't seem like you're going to get any help with something, or it just feels like maybe things aren't turning out. But what I'm hearing here is it's kind of like a 180 season for you. Something's going to turn around in ways that you don't expect. Okay, so I'll put this over here to the left to begin. And then I also want to first draw your tarot spread, because this will tell me more about the overarching forecast of your summer. Okay. So, Spirit, can you tell us more about the overall summer from beginning to end for them from this point on forward? Thank you. Okay, we've got the Three of Pentacles reversed. So that maybe speaks as the first card as a time of struggle that I mentioned before. Like I was like, maybe you feel like everything's just not going your way recently. And specifically the Three of Pentacles reversed, pile one, tends to mean a time of feeling like nobody's helping you. Okay. Feeling like there's no teamwork here. I feel like I'm all alone. Which, you know, is very funny because you did pick the Ally in Disguise card, which is like people helping you or things helping you that you don't quite expect. So I think that's part of what's going to turn around. Now, you're still in that energy right now because this card represents the present because it's the very first card. It's like your summer from here on out. So if you're frustrated right now, pile one, with everything going on in terms of especially your relationships with other people and how they are or are not helping you, just know that that is part of what's going to change, I feel like. Okay. Let's keep looking at your other cards too to gain more insight. We're going to do a cut the deck method here. So let's see. I need 1, 2, 3, and one more card. We're going to cut the deck here. Beautiful. And then let's look at your other tarot cards. Okay, so the near future, we've got... Okay, beautiful. Another Pentacles. Now, and that's another thing I like to talk about in my readings, pile one, is when you tend to get a lot of the same suit, I also see that as kind of a theme going on for you. So you have already a lot of Pentacles. We'll see what other cards that you get in the spread. And a lot of Pentacles in a row tells me there's a lot of focus this summer regarding finances or career or health or home. I don't know if maybe you've been looking to move homes or you've been looking to like move up in a career or like find a new job, something along those lines, start a new business. If that's the case, pile number one, then you have a really fantastic forecast in the near future because you have, at least in that area, because you have the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is all about new beginnings or new opportunities is the key word regarding finances and career and those other things that I mentioned, housing and health. Okay, especially with, you know, I consider the Pentacles the bodysuit too. Okay, so it's a really, really good time in the near future. So I would say in the next month or so would be the second card when it comes to those things. So if you're looking to like get to promoted in some way or finding a new job or, you know, like I said, maybe some of you are moving houses, that is kind of the time frame that I'm seeing for a lot of luck in that area, especially when it comes to new beginnings, new things, new opportunities, because aces are the beginning of their suit in tarot, meaning it's a great fruitful time for new things to be planted and started growing. Okay, so beautiful forecast already. Then we have the middle card. We have another Pentacles. Okay, so definitely a finances, career, earth-focused summer for you. The Six of Pentacles, especially being the heart of the matter, is like another overarching theme underneath everything that's going on, like we talked about with Ally in Disguise. Okay. And this is, I think, when that's going to correct that feeling of being alone, that feeling of I need help, but like nothing is reaching back to me. You know, be it literally other people in your life, pile one, or it could also be potentially like you feeling like even like the universe is just not working with you. Like you're like, oh man, I'm so frustrated, and it's like everywhere I go, there's just no aid. That fixes here kind of in the middle of the summer ahead. So I would say maybe about 2 months from now or a month and a half. The Six of Pentacles is all about equal distribution of resources or wealth, or it can also be a card of charity. So if you're looking for things like that, it's also really going to be prosperous here, not just like within a month here with the Ace of Pentacles and starting that, but everything kind of extended from that into a month and a half to about 2 months ahead. That Six of Pentacles, things are going to even out too. It's also a really good time for in terms of balancing finances, because that's another theme with the Six of Pentacles is, yeah, like I said, equal distribution. So balance in some way. Okay, beautiful. Good financial forecast for you, pile number one. And then we've got another Pentacles. I guess it's just your destiny is Pentacles this summer. We have the Seven of Pentacles reversed. Now that might speak of a time where there's going to be a little bit of trouble maybe. Nothing major though, so don't run away from the reading quite yet. It's nothing disastrous. The Seven of Pentacles reversed can represent a time where we're having a little bit of a struggle trying to start new things. It's interesting because you had really good luck with that about a month ahead here. But then it's like, I would say this is maybe like 2 to 3 months from now, kind of towards more the end of summer, not quite the end, but maybe like August or so, September, where you might have some issues like getting things off the ground, or it's like something needs like more nurturing. That's another really good way to see the Seven of Pentacles represented reversed, is something needs to be planted or needs to be nurtured more, and it might need more TLC than you're expecting. So just keep an eye out for that from about, like I said, August to September or so. Maybe it's like you even start another thing outside of what you're starting here within a month. You might find a little bit of trouble with that in those months, but let's see what the final outcome card is before. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. So we finally have a different card from a different suit, or a card from a different suit, I should say. We have the Nine of Cups, and you know what's beautiful about that, pile number one, is the Nine of Cups is all about wishes fulfilled and emotional satisfaction. So I'm telling you, pile number one, and I read cards honestly, like you saw with the Seven of Pentacles reversed, I was like, might be a little bit of a speed bump here, or some little bit of struggles with in terms of finances and career with getting things started in, like I said, August to September. So I'm an honest tarot reader. I'm seeing this Nine of Cups at the end, which is beautiful as an outcome. And I kind of just see that too as an overarching theme, is a lot of, wishes granted this summer and a lot of emotional fulfillment. Okay, especially, so sometimes you even see the Nine of Cups being described as the card of smugness. Like something that makes you so happy that you're smug about it. Okay, so really, really, really good forecast this summer, especially in terms of your career, your home, health, and your money. Okay. A lot of blessings coming through for you. Okay. So even though you do have a little bit of that struggle with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, and a little bit of a speed bump, like I said, at the end, that's going to resolve by the very end of summer. So I would say this card might be kind of September, maybe into October, but more September for the very end of this range. Okay. Beautiful forecast for you, pile number one. So that's the overarching summer theme. Okay, so we have themes of lots of financial success, help in areas that you don't expect, things balancing out new opportunities in terms of success and finances and things like that, with just a little bit of a, like I said, August, September or so. Be careful there. But let's look at some of your other cards. I want to draw your oracle decks today. So we will have, and I'm actually going to kind of shuffle these a little bit more to make more room for all of our cards on the table, using the space that we've got. Let's get your tea leaves on the table. Anything else, Spirit, you want to tell them about their summer? What's written in the stars for them this summer? Thank you. What else? Okay, we've got the Eagle, triumph over troubles and obstacles. I'm telling you, pile one, this is just a really good summer for you. Look at this. Beautiful. Triumph over troubles and obstacles. Okay, so even though there is a little bit of that Seven of Pentacles reversed energy I warned you about, you're still going to triumph over everything that's been facing you in terms of obstacles with this area of your life, okay? So lots of successes I'm seeing too this summer. Let's see what else pops out. Could be a warning, could be another blessing. All right, this one for sure was like, pick me. We have the broken bridge. Unsuccessful outcome to a problem. Okay, so there's a little bit of a warning here, pile one. And like I said, I want to read things honestly when I see them. So there is one, maybe other tiny speed bump I'm seeing this summer for you, like the Seven of Pentacles reversed. And let me look at it for a moment. I'll see if there's any intuitive messages coming through. It's something that you're working really hard on, but it's not your main goal during that time. And I'm hearing it's not necessarily something that's going to make or break if it, like, when it doesn't work out, but at the same time, they're telling me, pile one, that when this happens, when you come across an unsuccessful outcome to a problem, to not blame yourself over it. I'm trying to hear if there's anything else coming through. There's something about, like, you're going to be really supported in that time by the people around you, so it's almost going to even feel like it's not that much of a setback anyways. It's not a major thing that goes awry. Okay. See, is there anything about specific areas of your life where this problem comes from? Let me see if they say anything about that. Very oddly, pile one. So some of you, there's something about gardening. I don't know if any of you are trying gardening or like doing a lot more gardening this year. It's something more minor like that. And that's funny because that's like the Seven of Pentacles reversed came up, and oftentimes that's a card of like gardening metaphors are often used with the Seven of Pentacles because it's like the card of planting seeds. And there was something too with a white flower. With white flower. I don't know. It could be something like symbolism. Like if it's something related to your job, like maybe your job or like your company has something to do with symbolism around like a white flower, or it could also be like something you're trying to achieve. I mean, we think of white flowers in terms of symbolism as like we think of like purity, right? Or innocence. It's something along those lines. That's where the problem comes in for most of you. But like I said, they're reassuring me that it's nothing that's like a major setback, okay? Because remember, you have the triumph over troubles and obstacles with the eagle here. So I think even if like things might not be successful with one more minor thing, everything else is going to outweigh that little struggle with the triumph in every other area, okay? So keep an eye out for that. I think it's related to that Seven of Pentacles, so around August or so when that pops in, okay? Let's grab some more cards and see if there's more details gleaned here. Anything else? Any other themes this summer for pile number 1, Spirit? Okay, that one is like, pick me. Ooh, adventure. We have the conch shell, or almost looks like a spiral shell, more like adventure with the full moon, which is about things coming to fruition. Wonderful. I don't know if some of you are taking a vacation this summer somewhere, or it's like something about this year is there's a lot more change and like adventure to this year than there were previous summers, they're saying. But I do see like a really good forecast with that though. It's like really, there's something life-changing about your perspective shifting with whatever this adventure is. I'm going to grab another tarot card on the adventure. Spirit, can you give me one more card of clarity on the adventure card? What else do you mean with that? Okay, this one says, pick me. We've got the Hermit reversed, coming out of our shell. I don't know if maybe in recent years, pile 1, you've been more reluctant to travel or reluctant to take on major changes. And then it's like this year, this summer, there's something you're planning where you get out of your shell, which is funny because literally we have the shell in the adventure card. I just realized that too, like with the connection to the Hermit reversed, because that's the phrase I like to use with Hermit reversed is getting out of your shell, okay? Like a hermit coming out of their cave. There's something about you that's going to be bigger and bolder this summer. Something that's more like expanding your horizons, going farther than you ever went before. It's almost like the imagery I'm seeing is like, I mean, think about humans back in like our cave people days, right? Where, you know, you might stay in your one cave and you kind of know the area around you and you might not necessarily go far beyond because you're like, well, this is my comfort spot. This is my comfort zone. But it's like this summer, there's something that pushes you. And I think it's with enthusiasm. I don't think it's something that you're going to be like fretting or like worried about, or that it's like something you're not expecting, but it's something that pushes you out of your shell, and it's like that cave person finally thinking, you know what, this place is awesome, but I want to know what's beyond that horizon. There's something that pushes you forward. That might be that opportunity we're seeing here within the next month with the Ace of Pentacles, especially if you are moving, which also tells me that moving is going to be really good for your social life if that is the case. Like for those of you that are moving, or could even be like moving a job too, like there's a better social vibe, or like there's better people to interact with at that job if that is what you're kind of looking at down the pipeline here. And then, too, it's everything that you've learned cumulatively in these years of a little bit more of, like, being quiet and not really going too far beyond your horizons are, like, they're going to culminate in lessons that really serve you well this particular summer of more adventure, of going out of your shell more, okay? So really fruitful in that area, too. Maybe making even some new friends as well. That's another way that you can represent the Hermit reversed. And I do have one final Oracle card. Let's see what other theme pops out for you. I'm going to laugh if the other adventure card comes out, but we'll see. Because sometimes they repeat cards. And I'm like, well, we already talked about that. I want to hear more. More about your blessings, things like that. I feel like this one. We've got not adventure, but inner peace. We got, looks like 2 koi fish, I believe. So inner peace, an inner peace pile number 1. I mean, it's what it says on the tin. I think you're also going to find yourself, it's like a lifestyle change that makes it easier for you to find peace. I don't know if maybe some of you are moving somewhere that just is more aligned with your soul in terms of what makes you feel at peace. And 2, it's like a lot of the struggles of the spring and earlier are going to resolve, and that inevitably by itself too are going, like, that will create inner peace, of course, just by the nature of all of these like financial, career, home, health related things that fix over this summer. So, and I'm not saying too much about relationships pile number 1. There's not a lot of cups cards except the 9 of cups, which, like I said, is emotional satisfaction. So I think in terms of relationships, you maybe will be a little bit more inward focused this summer. I don't see much in terms of like a new partner or any, if you're currently in a relationship, any like bumps or anything. Nothing bad happening, but nothing extra like, over the top happening either. And then same thing too with, in terms of like other parts of your life, like friend groups. I mean, we do see the little bit here with the 3 of Pentacles reversed, turning into the Hermit reversed up here, and then like Ally in disguise. There's improvements, I think, in your social groups on a platonic level, but it's not as much of a focus nearly as, all of the career and financial and home related stuff that we mentioned before. So you're going to find a lot of inner peace in those areas this summer, okay? Other than just like that tiny little bump there with Broken Bridge and the 7 of Pentacles reversed, which, like I said, Spirit was confirming to me, pile 1, that that's nothing major, okay? It's nothing at the time that's going to be like a, oh crap. It's going to be more like a, oh, well, that kind of sucks. But look at all these other things I'm winning, okay? I mean, it's like literally like, the imagery I'm seeing is like, say you go to a casino and, you win a jackpot on one of the machines, and then like a second later you accidentally spill some food on yourself. That's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's like, okay, yeah, I spilled some food on myself. That kind of sucks. Oh, that's disappointing. But look at everywhere else I'm winning in life. Okay, that's kind of what I'm hearing about that little teeny, like I called it a speed bump. Okay, so beautiful. Definitely a summer of progress in everything regarding the material world. And of course, at the end, remember that emotional satisfaction here, wishes granted with the 9 of Cups. Beautiful, beautiful forecast for you, pile number 1. So that is what I'll leave you with for your reading today. I hope you liked it. And of course, I hope most of all that it resonated and helped you. And if so, please like the video itself. Please comment down below your story and everything that resonated with you. I always love hearing your feedback, as well as, I think other people in our community love to hear from each other, especially when you share piles and compare notes, right? And then, yeah, please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. As I always say, this is my little spiel. It's just a tiny little button click away for you, just a half a second, which helps me immeasurably with keeping the dream of the channel alive, of providing spiritual healing to people, as well as providing free readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 1. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 2. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about what's written for you in the stars this summer. And of course, as you can recall, you were drawn to become the Elixir number 50. And now that we're in your reading, I'll read the subtext. It says, "Let your glow do the heavy lifting." Okay, so what I'm hearing right off the bat with this card, intuitively, pile 2, is this summer, one of the themes for you is things being more effortless than they have been before, especially because we see the keyword heavy lifting. It's almost like there's something about you specifically that maybe has been kind of hidden away for a while, or something that you've been having in the works that you just haven't shared yet as much with other people, that this summer is when it really blossoms and blooms for you. And it's like things become easier because there's something that you're not hiding away, or something that you're finally able to kind of like bring to fruition and share with the world. So I don't know if you've been working on like a project recently, like a new business, or like maybe some of you are graduating or gaining some sort of certification that you've been working really hard on. But in either case, I see a really good forecast already in that area. Okay, so I'll put your pile leader over here to the left, and then let's draw first your tarot cards, because I'm going to ask Spirit to kind of give us an overall sort of month by month how is the summer going to go, and then we'll get more nitty-gritty details later about specific events that might pop up if that does come through. Okay, so Spirit, 5 cards, please. Thank you. From beginning to end, from now to the end of summer, how do you see it going for them? And then, of course, we'll see things like obstacles potentially pile too. We'll see things potentially like blessings that might come your way. Those are always good to hear, right? So, number 4 and number 5. Cut the deck here. All right, let's look at the first card. So this is kind of the present right now card, as well as very near future. We have the 4 of Swords reversed. Okay, so what that tells me, pile number 2, is that it's kind of like what I said before. I think there's something that you're kind of bringing to fruition. There's something that you're trying to activate. That's a really good term to use with the 4 of Swords reversed, because it's often a card of something waking up. It's a card of, yes, awakening. It's a card of things stirring that have been kind of quiet for a while. So not only is that you, I think, it's like there's more of you that's going to shine this summer, but projects that you've been working on as well. I feel like now is the time, and especially in the very near future, within, I'd say, the next month or so, I would represent with this card. Perfect timing for something to bloom, for something to be shared. Okay, so if you're looking for advice on like, well, when should I start this thing or when should I share it? Pretty soon here within the next month is what I would say. Okay. Let's look at the second card. So this is maybe about a month and a half to 2 months ahead. We have the 7 of Cups reversed. Also, you know, it's kind of a neutral card. It's often about realizing reality from fantasy and then really solidifying our dreams into tangible goals. So that's another really good way to represent the 7 of Cups reversed. It's like finally realizing after we've been dreaming for so long over something, which once again, I think a lot of you, there's some project that you've been working on, right, pile 2? Becoming that tangible reality and also solidifying our goal. So about a month to, like I said, 2 months ahead from now, maybe like late June into July, it's like you have already maybe have had lift off with something, or like a lot of projects have started, or like there's finally this momentum that you've been looking for, and then it's a time of really sieving through and finding out what you want to keep and what you want to like keep doing. Okay. The imagery they're showing me is almost like, you know, when people pan for gold, like they have to like take the soil into the pan and then they have to like sieve out the pieces of gold as they wash it in like a stream, for example. That's kind of the imagery I'm seeing for you with this particular card. It's like finding the nuggets of gold underneath layers of like, it's almost like at the beginning you start maybe more than you need to, or like more like the goal is a little bit like too big, and then you solidify it down into like a tighter focus here a month and a half to 2 months ahead. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing there. More of a neutral card, not necessarily negative or positive. Let's see what the third card is. We've got the 8 of Cups reversed. Okay, so this is maybe about 2 to 3 months ahead from now, and the 8 of Cups reversed can represent a time where we're struggling with trying to emotionally move on from something. So I do see a lot of success with projects that you're starting here this summer, that you're trying to get off the ground, or things that you're trying to activate or awaken. Maybe even the project doesn't even necessarily have to be like a business or something tangible like that, pile 2. It could also possibly be something that you're trying to awaken within yourself. Like maybe you're trying to be more outgoing. Maybe you're trying to try new things. And like that's kind of the project that you've been working on. Okay. It can even be like self-improvement, things like that. Okay. At least in terms of your goals. So that's good this summer. But then with the 8 of Cups reversed, it's like, maybe there's some sort of emotional struggle 2 to 3 months ahead where you're having a hard time moving on emotionally. I don't know if maybe recently you broke up with someone already, like kind of now, and you already might know where this is coming from. Or I just see a little bit more of a general... Maybe a little bit of an emotional downturn. An 8 of Cups reversed isn't necessarily like depression or really heavy sadness or loss, pile 2. It's not like a 5 of Cups, for example, but it is maybe having to work through a little bit of an emotional slog in order to make progress there. Okay, so we do see a little bit more. And like I say, I always want to be an honest tarot reader, so when I do see more, you know, negative to neutral cards like that, I want to make sure that I tell it honestly. So We do have a little bit of a speed bump there, but let's see what else pops out. We have the King of Wands. What a turnaround. What a 180. The King of Wands is all about masculine energy, mastering fire. And so how that can manifest tangibly, pile number 2, is having a lot of success with actions that we take regarding like our passion projects or our confidence. So it's weird. You have this little bit of a downturn here with the Eight of Cups reversed in about, like I said, 2 to 3 months or so. So maybe like July into August. And then boom, we have this upturn into the King of Wands right after that. Okay, so maybe like August or so. I see a lot more confidence. I see a lot of success regarding the things that you're either having to be creative about, which is another aspect of the wand suit, is creativity. Things you're ambitious about, that's another really good keyword with the wand suit, as well as your confidence and your charisma with other people. Okay, so it's quite a dramatic upswing. So if you feel maybe like a little bit more sad about something, you know, in like the early August month, okay, maybe even late July, just know that there's going to be an upswing soon afterwards with the King of Wands in like middle of August. It's like something kind of sets and then all of a sudden, boom, this energy just surges through. And you're like, okay, I'm confident. Like, oh, I can get over that. Like, that was fine. That was just a little thing in my way, a little obstacle I overcame. And now I feel a lot better. Okay, that type of thing. Let's look at the last card. Then we have the Fool reversed as the outcome or around. This can represent the I would say maybe like the September, kind of to end of September type of energy in terms of timing. And the Fool reversed is interesting, pile number 2, because oftentimes it's a warning about taking risks, and oftentimes it can be trying to start new things, but not being quite ready for them yet. So we do see like a starting of some things here really early on, like right now, and those turn out successful. But I do see after we have kind of the emotional downturn and then the upswing here, you might be starting a new project of some sort by September, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it's replacing this one. It just might be another one that stems from that first project or goal that you have in mind, or it could be something that you kind of do like in tandem with it. And there is a warning there. Like I said, I'll be an honest tarot reader about taking risks in around September or so, because especially with new ventures, that's what the Fool is all about, especially reversed, is I'm embarking on a new journey. Oh, but I have to be careful because I have to watch my step. That's a really good mantra to bring into September with you, is watch your step. Okay. I'm going to draw an extra card on that because I want to kind of give you a heads up of like what to look out for more specifically. Now, a lot of you, it might be different as to what it is, but we'll kind of get like a general feel because that's kind of a specific event coming through the summer that I want to give you some more insight on. So Spirit, one more card on the Fool reverse. What should they watch their step about in September? Okay, we got 2 cards, actually. We have the Five of Wands and the Hierophant reversed. So Five of Wands is oftentimes about competition, battle of willpower and egos. Okay, so maybe there's a little bit of a conflict with other people. I don't necessarily see it as like a really harsh, sharp conflict, pile number 2. That would be more the Five of Swords rather than the Five of Wands here. But I do see it as like maybe there's competition at work or something, and you're maybe in September trying to entertain taking a risk of some sort to impress, to like stand out above the competition. In that case, I would not take the risk. Okay. Just, compete the way that you have been with, say maybe it's like a promotion that 2 people are going for, you and one other person. Okay. And then the Hierophant reversed is all about like letting go of traditions, bucking traditions. It can also mean authority that fails us in some way. That's one other representation of the Hierophant reversed. So what you should watch your step for over in September is something to do with competition and breaking traditions or like an authority figure that's failing. Okay. So be wary of that. All right. That is their context and clarity on that risk. So we do have oracle cards. Let's grab your tea leaves too. That might tell us more about specific events that'll come up. I think, too, I'm hearing intuitively, there's a lot of parsing out what you really want this summer as well. That's another really big theme coming through for you, pile number 2. And then we have, okay, flag, do not be tempted to lower your standards. I wonder if that's part of that warning, too. But it could be an overarching theme of summer, too, as a little bit of a warning from Spirit. So whenever you come across a situation this summer where you're tempted to lower your standards, pile number 2, do not do it. Okay, that's another warning they're giving you. They're like, I don't know if it's related to, say, relationships, like maybe you're looking for a partner and you come across somebody that's like, yes, they might be romantically exciting, but there's a lot of your standards that they don't necessarily meet. Like maybe they're not as responsible as you would like a partner to be, or, maybe there's something that they do, like say they have a temper and you're like, well, maybe I can put up with a temper, but then like you promised yourself you wouldn't go with someone that has a really bad temper, just as an example, right? Don't lower your standards in that case, or especially too, if it comes to work, don't lower your standards. Keep your standards high this summer. Okay, let's look at the other tea leaf. A lot of hard work this summer too, pile number 2, but it's successful, satisfying work I'm hearing with those projects, especially the first project we saw. And then we have, I was just saying, I feel like there's hard work this summer, pile number 2, and then you get the hard work card. We have egg, success assured with good plans and hard work. Okay, so that's another thing too, is they're saying, pile number 2, everything that you're seeking, everything that you're looking for in terms of your goals right now and your projects will work out just fine, and you'll get that success if you have good plans and you work hard. Okay, it's not necessarily an easy victory. And like I said, I'll be an honest tarot reader, and I'm not going to say everything's just going to fall in your lap. We all know in life you have to work for things sometimes, but at the same time, it's basically assured if you work hard. And I think too, that's kind of a secondary message to the flag about don't lower your standards. Don't lower your standards for yourself this summer, but also don't lower your standards for other people. Okay. So egg. And egg also, too, of course, we always think of as a representative of new beginnings. So once again, we have like an idea of like things awakening, of things starting. Okay, so I think there's also a lot of new energy coming in this summer for you as well that's positive. Okay. And I think that's part of maybe what is fueling some of the downturns a little bit, because with change, sometimes we have to like emotionally adjust. But it's all for the good, I'm hearing, with this spread that's come out so far. Let's grab your other oracle cards to pile 2. Okay. Anything else, Spirit? What else do you want to tell them about their summer? We have compassion. Okay, so I'm hearing number 1, to be willing to be more compassionate this summer to others, but also especially to yourself. And I'm hearing specifically, pile 2, in connection with times where you're working hard. You're going after those goals. You're trying to, as we always say, girl boss into the sun, or I don't know, boy boss into the sun, whatever you prefer, right? Be wary of burning yourself out. You need to be compassionate with yourself, okay? Especially, too, when you come across that time of emotional downturn a little bit with that 8 of Cups reversed. We talked about earlier about there's something you're struggling about emotionally moving on from around like July or so. Just remember to be compassionate to yourself. And that's also part of don't lower your standards. Because by not lowering your standards, pile 2, that's another way you can be compassionate to yourself. Because you can remember, I made this promise to myself that I wouldn't let this type of person around me, or I wouldn't take this kind of crap from work, or, insert whatever maybe your goal is regarding your standards, okay? So just remember, in all things, compassion. Okay. And protect your heart is another message I'm hearing, too, this summer. Protect your heart. Okay, and then let's grab the last Oracle deck card from the Sacred Destiny Oracle. Anything else, Spirit, you want to tell them about their summer? Okay, that one for sure almost flipped, so I'm taking it. We've got, abundance. Look at that. We have the spring, meadow, and bloom. Interesting. We've got pink flowers and white flowers. So abundance, pile number 2, as we all know, is a card or a word that means having a lot of something, okay? So I think you're going to have a lot on your plate, and I think you already know that, pile 2. I don't think that's going to be quite, I'm not going to say that, and I don't think a lot of you are going to panic and be like, oh God, there's a lot on my plate. I think a lot of you already kind of know there's a lot coming up. But they're saying, too, that despite there being a lot to tend to, there's a lot of good coming from it too. Abundance, like I said, is the key word, okay? Like the egg too, like it says, as long as you have good plans and you do hard work, things are going to come to fruition well, okay? So it's going to be kind of a nose to the grindstone sort of summer, all right? It's going to be a summer of reminding yourself of a lot of your goals. I think that's too, with the Seven of Cups reversed we saw earlier, like it says, don't lower your standards. Because as I said, Seven of Cups reversed is often about parsing what we really want, sieving what we really want, like I said with the example of the metaphor of panning for gold. Okay, so be wary this summer, like I said, or I guess a better way of putting that is always remind yourself what you want every single day. What am I working for towards today? Is a really good question to ask yourself every single morning this summer. What am I working for today? What do I want today? What am I working towards? Okay, what's my goal? And remind yourself of that every single day in every single facet of your life. What do I want in terms of my relationships? Do I want to improve the one that I'm in some way, or improve myself in the relationship in some way? Okay. Or if you're single, same thing, do I want to try to go on at least, so yeah, like you say you're looking for a partner, at least one date a month or one date every 2 weeks, or just to meet new people and see what's out there, right? Or just keep reminding yourself of your goals. Or like, do I want to make sure I get all of my work done today at work, right? Before I walk out the door, or before, 4 or 5 o'clock hits, whatever is your ending time for your job or whatever. And that, like, nose to the grindstone mindset is going to help you get to what you're looking for. Now, remember, self-care. It's not a summer of, like I said, girl bossing too close to the sun. You don't want to burn yourself out. Okay, that is a little bit of a warning. They did say that. However, as long as you kind of keep that good balance, I'm seeing a lot of success in everything that you're looking for. And especially, too, in the month of August. All right, in the month of August, I see a lot of success there because of that King of Wands. So August is a really good time for things to come to fruition if you're wondering about timing on the things that you're working hard towards, okay? August should be very successful for you. And then, yes, remember the risk that we talked about with the Fool reversed here in September. Don't lower your standards. Stay away from competition, okay? Don't compete. Or if you do have to compete in some way, say it's like I said, maybe, 2 people going for the same promotion, keep your standards high. Go the route of high standards, okay? For yourself and for others. And the route of compassion. And that's where you'll find your success too. And like I said at the very beginning of this reading with your pile leader, I think a lot of who you are is going to bloom even more this summer. A lot of you sharing something more with the world, like maybe that first project we talked about. It's like that too is going to be like the vessel of abundance coming forward for you this summer that brings a lot of these goals about too, that you're going to like achieve and succeed with that hard work, okay? Beautiful. So quite a wonderful forecast. Other than that little tiny bump maybe in, I would say July was that 8 of Cups reversed, a little bit of a time of needing to emotionally move on from something. Everything else looks pretty good other than that warning in September. So pretty good forecast for the summer pile number 2. So that's your reading for today. I hope, of course, you liked it. I hope most of all that it helped you and it resonated. If so, please like the video itself. Please comment down below your story or what resonated with you, or just even too, like, people that have, or they pick the same pile. It's kind of nice for them to see like how it resonates with each other. And of course, I as a tarot reader always like to hear your feedback and whatnot. And then please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. As I always say, this is my little spiel, so forgive me for repeating it, but it's just a tiny little button click away for you, half a second, which helps me immeasurably with keeping the dream of the channel alive of providing spiritual healing to people, as well as free readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile number 2, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, my wonderful pile number 3. Welcome to your pick a card reading about what's written for you in the stars this summer. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to Knights of the Round Table number 18. And now that we're in your reading, I will read the subtext. It says, "Let their love lift you higher. So right off the bat, just looking at your pile leader intuitively, pile 3, one theme I am seeing for you this summer is a lot about having support around you. Now that can manifest in 2 different ways. So we can see that manifest in terms of your spirit team. So I think you have a lot of like your spirit guides and your guardian angels really close to you. I mean, they always are, don't get me wrong, but especially close to you this summer for some reason. We'll see maybe a little bit more of details with that with your other cards. But also I think in a tangible way in terms of people around you physically. So I don't know if there's like some really big social gathering event you're having this summer that you're looking forward to, like more than like the normal, well, I guess it depends on your country, but of course here in the US, we always think of like July 4th as like a really big summer gathering. I feel like, I don't know if it's like a big conference or like a big family reunion that you don't typically have, but I see something really positive coming out of that, whatever it is for you. And then 2, like, I think there's a lot more about healing your social circle and a lot about just feeling more supported by people around you in general. I hear a lot about healing relationships as well, both family and in terms of friends. Okay. So a lot about your connections with others this summer. Let's look at your other cards to continue the reading, though. I want to draw your tarot cards first, pile 3, and especially what I want to do is, with this tarot spread, see the overall forecast of your summer. So, for example, we'll see maybe some more specific events with the oracle cards we draw later, but this time I want to kind of see overall, kind of month by month, how it's going to go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's cut the deck here and get it out of the way. Let's look at the first card for you. So this is the card of right now within the next month or so. We have the card of the 3 of Cups reversed. You know, it's interesting. I talked about social events just now with the Knights of the Round Table. And guess what the 3 of Cups is all about, pile number 3. It's all about social events. We literally have, I don't know if you can see it on the camera because as much as I love this deck, the details are very fine, very beautiful deck, but hard to see unless you're up close. We have 3, it almost looks like more like mermaids, merpeople, gathering together for a drink or a party of some sort. But reversed, it means maybe something hasn't been going so well in terms of groups of people. Okay, so that's kind of reiterating what I saw earlier intuitively with your pile leader. I think maybe there's been some tumultuousness in your social groups recently. I think that's part of what's going to heal this summer. And, you know, sometimes pile number 3, it doesn't necessarily mean healing in terms of going back to the same people, especially if you've had a lot of, like, social separations recently from people. Maybe you've been cutting out toxic friends out of your life. Maybe you had to kind of stop talking to someone in your family or something like that. Sometimes that can heal with other people that are new that replace the or they take the place of those people we cut out in our lives in a more positive, better way. So that's maybe one way it might manifest. We'll see how the other cards come out, but I am seeing right now maybe you're feeling a little socially disconnected or kind of lonely, or like maybe some sort of event didn't go so well already. That can be another representation of the 3 of Cups reversed, but that's part of what's going to heal this summer. So very funny that popped out right after I was like intuitively like something with social groups, and then the 3 of Cups pops out. I'm like, oh, that's what it meant. Okay. Thanks, Spirit. Backing me up. All right, and then we have the Page of Swords reversed. I'm actually going to look at the depiction of this one a bit closer. Yeah, so we have a lot of swans. And the Page of Swords, pages in general, pile 3, are all about, they're explorers, they are students, they're people that have like a youthful energy of exploring the element of their suit, which is air for swords, okay, which means communication, intelligence, logic, things of the mind, pursuits of the mind too. So I wonder if maybe, and this is probably about a month and a half from now, I would say, to 2 months with this second card. If I don't know if maybe you're in university or you've been trying to learn something, or maybe like you're trying to learn a new job that you got hired for. I do see, and I want to be an honest tarot reader, so there's a little bit of a setback here. Maybe a bit of a bump with that in those that time frame of a month and a half to 2 months. Okay, so regarding education, regarding maybe anything with intellectual pursuits or the way that you have to communicate. there might be a little bit of a bump there, or sometimes it can mean in terms of like needing more of that as a piece of advice. So in about a month and a half to 2 months from now, pile 3, please take into account the advice of maybe needing to speak out more. I'll try to maybe do an extra card on this one to see, in fact, let me just do that right now. An extra card on this one to see like what precisely the event related to that is, because that's another aspect of this reading is I want specific events that are important that Spirit wants you to know about. So one more card on that, Spirit. Thank you for the Page of Swords. Okay, we've got quite a lot of cards. I'm going to redo that just because I can't take 6 cards as clarification for just one. I mean, I could, but I don't really have the desk space. Spirit 1, please. No, I can't take the whole deck. Apparently they have a lot to say. We'll pick this one because it was popping out quite prominently. So we have the Hermit, okay, which is often about going within ourselves, maybe being too quiet. Okay, so this is just a bit of a warning, pile number 3. In about a month and a half to 2 months from now was the time span I've repeated a few times, but I'll just say it again. Be wary of not speaking up. Okay, this is definitely because of the Hermit popping out. This is the communication side of the Page of Swords. You need to communicate more and more clearly in that time frame, okay? There's something they want you to avoid by doing that, okay, in that time frame. So that would be probably, I mean, right now is June, so I would say like through July. Be very aware of the way you communicate and the way you explore conversations, okay? The way that you explore mentally, especially when I'm hearing something too about how you reflect on conversations. I don't know if maybe there's something you might be liable to or more prone to taking more personally in a certain conversation, or it's like someone else might take something a little bit more personally. I'm hearing something about taking something personal. That like if you analyze it more at the time when it occurs in July, it will help you not feel as bad about it, or like it's something that won't be as much of a setback, okay? And then too, it might be if you are a little bit more introverted because of this 3 of Cups energy that's right now with like maybe some social group is kind of rocky, or you had to cut out toxic people. This is also a little bit of a hint in that July time frame to get out of your shell more, okay? Because we have a Hermit, which is positive. A Hermit is great, especially because it came out upright. It's like, oh, well, you know, we're going inside ourselves. We're being a little bit more introverted. And you do need to do some introversion. Everybody needs a little bit of outgoingness, and everyone needs a little bit about being, you know, more introverted. It's good to spend time with yourself as well as others, but I think you're more inclined in that time frame to spend more time with yourself, when really it would help you more in that July area to be more social. Okay, share more about what's been going on and what's bugging you with others in that time, especially regarding social groups. Okay, that's what I'm hearing for that. So quite a bit on July. Let's look a little bit more at maybe end of July into August. We have the Chariot, which is beautiful. Okay, so we have a little bit of an upturn here, pile number 3. From everything that's been maybe not going so well at the beginning. The Chariot is all about taking the reins. It's about driving forward. It's about forward momentum, things going quicker than they have been. It's all about control over chaos. I think a lot of things are going to kind of come into full picture or full circle in this is about like late July into August, okay? This is about like if you've been having a lot of obstacles recently, especially with like relationship related things or friend social group things, this is where this is going to kind of like clear through finally. It's like a really good metaphor I like to use with the Chariot card is like, say you have a stream. And in the stream, like a part of it used to flow really well, but then it gets kind of blocked up with like moss and sticks and maybe leaves. It's like this late July into August energy with the Chariot is like something comes through and then boom, all of that debris is cut out of the way and things flow. It's like the flow of something is going to be a lot smoother. And I do see that kind of just in general with everything. So like things will flow smoother at your job or your work or whatever your day-to-day kind of life goal has been. Because I'm always cognizant. Sometimes, you know, people watch my videos and they're already retired, for example. So, you know, work or whatever, insert thing here you do with your day-to-day life, that will flow smoother. And then at the same time, I think in terms of your relationships, things are going to flow a lot smoother. It's interesting too, because I didn't even notice this until now. Literally, it's these 2 unicorns riding on a wave of water. Okay, on a wave of water, just like kind of the stream I was saying. Things flowing better, okay? Then we're into maybe August or so. We have the 8 of Swords. Okay, lots of Swords energy in this spread. 8 of Swords is all about feeling trapped in some way, but oftentimes it's not a trap of like something that's completely unavoidable or something that we can't get out of. It's often a trap that we put ourselves in. So there's a bit of a warning here once again, pile number 3. In about late August, maybe into September or so, about putting yourself in a prison of some sort. I think because of everything going on emotionally and in relationships that's been chaotic, you might be a little bit predisposed to falling back to that introversion and feeling kind of stuck and feeling like I can't make any progress. Despite, you'll find that progress here like just the month before with the Chariot. Things will flow smoother, as I said, but it's like all of a sudden maybe mentally you'll feel kind of like, I don't know, going back to old patterns here in that time frame. Like I said, late August, September. So just be wary of that. I will draw one more card actually on that to kind of see maybe more exactly why that happens, because I think, the more details you have, the more you can do to avoid whatever that is. So it's not a trap in terms of feeling stuck in the physical. It's just a trap in terms of the mental, especially with the 8 of Swords. Let's see what Spirit has to say otherwise about that 8 of Swords. We have the 6 of Pentacles reversed, lack of balance in terms of finances, or lack of charity, lack of sharing. It's something about what some other person is not giving you, and it makes you feel mentally trapped. I think it might be a little bit of a predisposition to thinking that this person is just like the people that you might have cut out or that you were having struggles with earlier. But they're saying to be wary of falling into that trap at that time. Okay. And especially too being a Pentacles card, pile 3. Pentacles is the Earth suit, which is all about like finances and career. So also just be wary in that August, September kind of range there of getting yourself into mental traps with work or whatever you do to make money, okay? That could technically be, say, like maybe you get stuck in a pattern of procrastination. That's a one way. And 8 of Swords is like a really good card for procrastination. Or maybe you get some sort of anxiety about some project that comes up and you're kind of like, oh man, how am I going to get this done? So like you get like analysis paralysis and you don't make any forward momentum on it. So it's nothing that you can't avoid, pile 3, but they're just giving you a lot of advice in terms of just be aware of this so that you can avoid it. Okay. And that will make everything flow a lot smoother. And though, we do see things flowing smoothly in the 6 of Pentacles with that, maybe that's that stream metaphor I used before with the Chariot. So I do see maybe like things kind of flowing still easier in this month. Maybe not as strong as we did with the Chariot in like the July range, but there is, still like that forward momentum in terms of like making progress with our relationships and everything else that you're working on. Okay. So I don't see any major speed bumps. I know there's been some neutral things more so, but, and then the last one as the outcome is Strength reversed. Okay. And this is about maybe September to like the end of the summer. Funnily enough, like this is the card of Leo, right? We have a lion and that is like, August, right? I think, yeah, it's late August, early September, right? All my Leos right now are probably like cringing at me in the comments. They're like, no, Leo, is this band? I know it's August for sure. It might be actually early August though. And yeah, so perfect card for the end of summer. However, the Strength card reversed means maybe a time where we're not feeling too confident in something. So there's a lot of emotional progress made this summer, pile 3, that if I had to really pin down one theme, it's not only healing from social group things that went awry or healing from toxic people, but it's also a theme of like getting emotionally stronger after the lessons we've learned. It's kind of a year of picking up the pieces, or I should say a season of picking up the pieces after it feels like something had kind of fallen apart. And that's why you're getting so many advice cards, pile 3. It's not necessarily like it's a lot of like bad events. It's more internal things that Spirit is saying you're going to have to process in these months. So yeah, especially like strength reversed can manifest in a way of maybe in September or so. You might have some doubts about yourself, or you might be running into some feeling like you're just tired or like you don't have the strength for certain things. I mean that like in a mental, emotional way, not so much physical. So it's just a reminder that in that September span to remember that you do have the power to change these things for the better, to remember that you do have the ability to tame whatever is being chaotic in your life and fixing these things. Because remember what I also said, I think you're going to get a lot more improvements in terms of social groups. Okay, we had a bit of an issue with that at the beginning, but then by the end of the summer, that's kind of out of the way, and I think that improves, and then it's like, yeah, the internal emotional development. So it's a bit of a more of an internal focus from being outward focused. There's a bit of a switch there, outward to more inward by the end of the summer. Okay. So just remember, you have the strength to meet your goals. You have the strength to go after what you want. Don't let yourself fall into mental traps this summer in terms of feeling like you're not good enough, okay? All right, let's look at some of your oracle cards. We have your tea leaves. Anything else you want to say about this summer for pile 3, Spirit? Okay, this one says, pick me. We have flag. Interesting, pile 2 had this too. Do not be tempted to lower your standards. Okay, so we have a bit of a message here as a warning as well for this summer. Do not lower your standards for things. Do not lower your standards for who you associate with, especially in social groups, because we said that's part of your summer, right? Is maybe hewing that down into people that are positive and deserve to be in your life, right? But also don't lower your standards for yourself, okay? Don't take less than what you deserve, all right? Or don't accept less than what you deserve. Pile number 3. Okay, this one is like flying out. We'll take it. And then your other tea leaf is the bull. Ooh, this is what strength is all about too in the end here with September. Do not back down from opposition. Show strength and fortitude. So I think what's going to happen in September with that strength thing, pile 3, we did talk generally about, believe in your ability to achieve your goals and your own strength and your own willpower. I think there might be something in September where you're going to come across a little bit of an opposition of some sort, and that's when you need to make sure to stay strong and don't back down, especially if it's someone that maybe wants you to lower your standards for something. So be wary. If I had to give you one big main warning, or Spirit would give you one big main warning about this summer, is in September, towards the end of the summer, when you come across opposition, do not back down. Do not lower your standards, okay? Remember that. Maybe even write it down, okay? They're saying that quite prominently. Also, just in general, stand up for yourself more too, pile 3 this summer. Not just in September, but in general. Okay, and remember what I said at the beginning, it's not just physical people around you supporting you. I think there's a lot of spirit guides and guardian angels around you this summer, and I think because you are going through so much growth and trying to stand up for yourself and being strong, that they're there for you, especially this summer, even closer than normal, because they want to be there to help you, to remind you to have that strength, okay? And then we have forgive. That might be related to the social groups that we talked about. Maybe there's a lot of now, of course, as I always say, when it comes to forgiving people, and this is the tricky thing when forgiveness always comes up, because people always consider forgiveness to be something different depending on every single person that you ask. Some people, they define forgiveness as just forgetting, just letting it go. Some people define forgiveness as the thing that is given to somebody after someone's really atoned for what they've done. So define forgiveness in your own way. But however you think of forgiveness in your own way, what it means to you, apply that to your social situation, and that's part of what's going to be fixed this summer. I think, like I said, with that healing with other people, or that kind of your connections healing, or healing from negative connections. Maybe you feel kind of guilty for having let toxic people in your life earlier. So part of this forgiveness might be forgiving yourself. And part of that forgiveness too is reminding yourself in the future to not lower your standards, right? making sure that you only let people that are positive into your life, people that don't drain from you, but people that bring to you, okay? Or it's at least an equivalent exchange of reciprocity, right? Things like that. So forgiving other people potentially, but also forgiving yourself. That's another theme. And then last but not least, we have trust. See, a lot about social connections. Trusting yourself. Okay, that's another piece of advice they're giving you this summer. Please trust yourself, pile 3, this summer. Please. Okay? I think you might be liable or predisposed to not believing in yourself this summer with certain things. I don't know, maybe because your confidence has been kind of knocked down by everything that's happening to you right now and kind of towards the middle of the summer. But in the end, they're saying, you know the right way, you know the best way through everything that's going on, and you need to believe in yourself this summer. And I know it's cliche when we say the cheesy, oh, believe in yourself, but I really mean it, pile 3, and so does spirit. And trust, too, that like your spirit guides and your angels are around you as well with this, because they are very close. I see that with the Knights of the Round Table. It's like your support group, your spirit posse, I guess you'd call it, right? Not to be super cheesy, but especially when you're going through times of, I'm hearing there's something about whenever you go through times of feeling like you're not succeeding as much as you wish you were. Trust yourself that you still are going in the right direction and you're still doing the right thing, even if you might not see the tangible outside results right away, at least at first, okay? So, your reading was a little bit more of kind of an advice reading, but I think that's because of all of the healing and growth you're doing this summer, pile 3. You have a very transformative type summer coming forward. Quite different from the other piles. Not as many of them had as much of a, I want to say like an emotional healing type of summer. Most of them, the other 2 piles, it was like they had more of an outward tangible type summer in terms of like outward goals. Yours is about more internal goals, but they're very pivotal and they're very important, okay? This is the summer of building yourself back up after you feel like you've fallen down. It's a summer of building stronger, more healthy connections. It's a summer of forgiving yourself and taking care of yourself and being supported by your spirit team even greater than normal. Okay, and remember, if there's anything you take away from this, do not back down when people try to trample over you. Okay? Don't lower your standards. So that's a reading for today about your summer pile number 3. I hope that you liked it. I hope, of course, most of all that it resonated and helped you. And if so, please like the video itself. Please comment down below how it resonated, or even just explain more about your own story. Sometimes it's therapeutic just to talk about it. And then, of course, people that share your pile, love to hear other people's perspective on the same reading. Or me as the tarot reader, of course, I always like to hear your feedback and everything that resonated with you. So yes, please comment if you'd like to. And of course, please subscribe if you have not done so already. It's just a tiny little button click away for you, which helps me immeasurably with keeping this channel alive and helping people spiritually heal, as well as providing more free readings for both you and others in the future. And as is our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile 3, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye.